Most of us ignore the whispers of our bodies until they become screams. For Banya Lim, decades of guiding others in healing could not have prepared her for the moment everything fell apart. But in the silence that followed her greatest losses, Banya uncovered a secret. The body remembers how to heal, even when the mind has given up. Tonight, you'll hear how one woman's fall became the spark of a movement that's changing lives around the world. I'm Scott Allen, and you're listening to the Enlightened Life podcast, where we explore the mysteries of the soul's journey, healing, and transformation. Let's get started. Hi, Banya. I'm so glad you're here with us today. I've been looking forward to this conversation, and I know that our listeners are going to get so much out of your story and wisdom. So thanks for joining me here on the show.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. What was your earliest experience of this wisdom in your own life?
Earliest, my mom used to take me to this Buddhist temple when I was young, and this is when I was living in Korea, and she always chose to go to this temple far, far into mountain, like deserted area that there no other towns or houses around. And after walking a long way, you'll find this little temple. I remember, I don't know if I put this on my website. I did have it on my website, and I don't know if I still do. I remember this main monk was talking about how we are connected to everything and every living and non-living things, that how we are all one. And I remember I was just playing outside in a little pond with the fish, and I think there was frogs as well. And I hear him saying this, and I don't know, maybe I was 6 or 7 years old. I had this instant moment of feeling connected to everything that was around me, the birds, frogs, fish. And I just feel like when he said like we are all one, but not as words, but as I had this like visceral reaction within my body, like I am that bird, I am that tree, I am this water. There's no separation. And after, of course, coming back home, going to school, and I've forgotten about it, but that sensation never left me. And I feel like all my life, everything that I do, I'm always trying to get back to that experience, get back to that awareness, and really truly deeply understand what that really means. What it means exactly means that we are all connected, that we are all one. And not only trying to get back, but also prove to myself and to others that this is real and this is true.
Right. So how did you created your system, the Chi Mastery system. How did you come up with this unique combination of energy healing, somatic work, and meditation?
But I myself went through a lot of difficult times, and it kind of come to the point that everything kind of manifests in so many levels on a physical level. And this was I was when I was in grad school. I had a very bad depression, and at the same time, I had a lot of gastrointestinal issue. I have an IBS, and that it was turning into ulcerative colitis. And basically, my body couldn't process digest or process food. Like it would
Hmm.
just go through me. And I looked like a ghost at the time. I was pale and I didn't have any energy. Um, I decided to heal myself through meditation and movement. Those two things are very important. We might talk about this more in detail later. And after a while, I remember there's a moment that emotions and thoughts are choices. And I remember this like looking into it's like the menu board in a restaurant, or when you go to McDonald's and there's menus there. And I realized I keep choosing this negative emotion and thoughts over and over because that's what I was used to. And at the same time, I realized I have this array of other things and other emotions and thoughts that I can choose, but I have not been doing that. So I decided to purposely choose different emotions and thought. It didn't really work initially, but eventually it got easier and easier just by having the awareness that we have a choice and we are choosing these thoughts and emotion to make us feel heavy or negative. We're literally doing this because that's what we're used to. Maybe that's what we're comfortable with. It's like you're putting your hand on the stove. It burns your hand, but that's what you're used to. You keep doing that over and over.
Yeah.
But you don't have to. There are other choices that we have, other things that we can choose from. And of course, this is something that we all know. And when I'm talking about, I'm sure you know this. But for me, it was just such awakening for me that I can choose different thoughts. I can have a different emotion. And I think that was the turning point. And in 2 months and a half, about 3 months or so, I had this moment like of my emotion and thoughts and my mind and body and start to work together. And this is also another visceral experience that I have. And I can feel the heaviness start leaving me within my body. And this is where my symptoms went away.
Wow.
Now I am much more healthier than when I was in 20s and 30s. And
That's
like,
I want to tell you something interesting, and it's on this line because we had a man on the show last week, and his episode hasn't aired yet. It will have aired by the time that your episode comes out. It'll be just, a couple before yours. He had muscular sclerosis, bipolar disease, and a bunch of other things. He was at the point of needing a wheelchair full time. He slipped into this, and his whole thing too is about the body can heal, your mindset can heal, meditation can heal. So it's very, very similar. He's no longer even needs a cane. He's considered in remission, and he's been in remission for over 15 years. He's no longer considered bipolar. He doesn't take any medication at all for anything. And he's just completely changed his life. And all his life, he was told, this is the path that you will be on. Stop listening to that diagnosis because it becomes your reality. So when you talk about words, that's huge. I just had a conversation with someone too. Work this week's going to really be lousy. Well, he says that every week. So, yes, you need to work. Yes, you need to be there, but change the words, you can change the way you perceive this and live with it. So I love that. For someone new into energy work, I really want to ask you this too. How can you explain the idea of clearing energetic blockages in practical terms? How would someone do that if they're just new to this?
I think first step is learning to listening to your body is very important. And this is basically the basis of Oriental medicine and acupuncture. And actual energetic and spiritual part has been lost for many decades. And me and my mom is was an acupuncturist also. We're trying to bring back this old, like ancient tradition, which is a spiritual aspect of acupuncture. And start first by listening to the body and how to listen. That's always the question. People are like, yeah, I understand. I think that sort of makes sense, but how do you do that? First, know that our bodies are constantly telling us things, constantly telling us what to eat, where to go, who to interact with, what kind of colors of clothes to wear, which side of the house to clean, and so on. So there are two main theories guide us in Oriental medicine: yin and yang theory and five element theories. Yin and yang is yin and yang. I'm sure you saw this round thing with this shape. Basically saying that one cannot exist without the other. If there's up, there has to be
That's right.
down. If there's a left, there's a right. One
How did you pronounce that? How did you pronounce it?
yin and yang, yin,
Yeah.
y.
We crazy Americans call it yin and yang. So for people who are listening and maybe didn't understand that, but you know what it reminds me of? It's a little center of a 45. I don't know, you maybe not be old enough, but when we used to have 45 records back in the day, you would put something in the center of it so it would fit on your stereo system. And that's what it looked like, round with the little thing on either side. Yeah. So
So yin and yang basically is like if there's a left, there's a right. There's up
yeah,
and there's right. If the darkness, there has to be light as well. And it applies to everything else, everything within our body and also externally.
right.
Five element is water, metal, earth, fire,
Mhm.
wood, and so on. And it also applies to everything that we know in the world. It applies to direction, south, west, north, east,
Right.
taste, sour, sweet, salty, and so on. Color, green, yellow, and so on.
Correct.
And also it applies to organs, liver, gallbladder, kidney,
Mhm.
so on. So, wood, for example, wood's organs are liver and gallbladder, and its color is green, and its emotion is anger. And oftentimes, when you wake up in the morning, sometimes that happens when you wake up in the morning, you don't know why you get drawn to this color of shirt or this color of pants, but you want to wear that for no apparent reason. And it's when you really listen intuitively, your body is trying to tell you that's the most harmonizing color for you to wear today. You've been spending too much time being angry at your in-laws, whatever they might be. This is a time for you to
Yeah.
release this emotion through wearing green color, something like this. And also it applies to direction. And wood's direction is east side, and it's their organs, the liver and gallbladder. And this always happens. Liver and gallbladder, if people have any liver issues, their east side of the house is always messy.
You
And it's
mean that in a you don't mean that literally their home. I mean, I suppose it could be, but do
literally,
you mean like really? Okay, so literally you go to their home and it's messy and they have gallbladder. Yeah, it's not their body you're talking about.
it's both.
Both. Okay.
It affects both. The space,
Interesting.
this is based on feng shui. The space,
Hmm.
energy, your body, your energy also affect the space.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And by fixing the space, does that therefore have that impact on the body as well?
That most definitely. This is based on feng shui. When you
Right.
move furniture in just in slightly, 15 degree, you all of a sudden start to feel the pain on your shoulder alleviated because that affects your energy and this wherever you occupy the space. It could be your home or your office,
Hmm.
wherever you spend a lot of time. It does work with you energetically,
Interesting.
your body.
Interesting. So what types of things can your system heal? Does your system take into consideration feng shui as well? Is it a multifaceted approach?
If your system can change the function, I didn't get that.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So what types of things? I mean, obviously there are people that, and I always like to put this out there because there are some people that need Western medicine. They need medication for cancer and for other things, right? We're not telling people not to get treatment
Oh
for
yeah.
their illnesses, right? That's a big part of it. You can't just, meditate your cancer away. You need to be aware of that. But there are lots of things you can change. And what are some of the things that you've seen? What are some of the transformations or obstacles that you've seen moved because of this?
Like liver cirrhosis, like
Really?
so on.
Hepatitis. My God, that's
Yes.
incredible. And I mean, truly, truly incredible. So some people would say, I mean, critics, and I am not one of them, by the way. I'm so yeah, because I do this show, I'm really not one of them. But some would say that energy healing is just a placebo. How do you respond to that? What would you say to someone who tries?
But also we heard that actually we found that placebo works. A lot of research found that it's actually the placebo is the one that actually creating many changes in people's
Yeah.
body and creating healing in the body. I think we use the word miracles. Miracles, it happens. The word miracle exists because it happens in the world.
Mhm.
Um,
Right.
just like what happened to me and with my body over time when I realized the choices that I was making, that I made a conscious choice to do things differently. It's definitely a process, and it also didn't happen to me uh, overnight. Like I said,
Hmm.
I think 2.5 months to 3 months, I think it was pretty short in any way. Could that the
Right.
for me to heal myself that drastically. So it happens, but also at the same time, it's a process. It's a um mindfulness, but also it's a awareness changes in your awareness. And I know we are creatures of habit, so we keep doing the same thing over and over, and changing the pattern. Sometimes it takes a time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and we're going to send people to your website as we get a little later on in the show, but what can people expect if they reach out to you? And what makes your system different than, say, other self-improvement programs that might be out there? What can they expect from the Chi Mastery system?
That this probably people heard this many times too, but what you're looking for is truly within your body,
Mm.
energetical form. And what do you consider negative experiences that you have in your life, both emotionally, career wise, and physically? That blockages is within the body. And when
So,
we through the work through the blockages, wherever goal that you want to get to, you can reach there.
do you see a place for integration between, let's say, Western medicine and the work that you do, or do you think the divide is just too great?
Absolutely. Absolutely. For a
Mhm.
while, actually, I work with my friend who's a Western medicine doctor, allopathic doctor, internal medicine. So we create a clinic together. So combining Western medicine and Eastern medicine together. So I absolutely believe that we have to work together, and we actually will give the best of healing modality
Mhm.
public if we learn to work together.
Yeah. What does
Yeah.
a typical Chi Mastery session look like for someone who's brand new to this? What could they expect?
Well, I was going to tell you this later, but for your audience, I will offer free clarity session. You can sign up
Beautiful.
for clarity session, then you can meet with me, and we can talk about what kind of goals you might have, whatever goals. It could be physical, emotional, relationship wise. It could be even career, and we'll work on figuring out how to reach that goal. The nature, God, universe, whatever you want to call it, want us to have all the things that we want to have. We want to have. It could be health wise or even monetary wise. And we end up creating blockages because either we don't believe it, because
Mhm.
belief, certain belief system that we might have, we hold on to that. And I think humans are the ones that hold on to negative thoughts more than any other animals that's out there because it whatever the emotion blockages, it started with the thoughts and belief, thoughts and emotion. And thoughts and emotion creates blockages within the body. But thoughts and emotion as an energy, it forms an energy, but energy wise, it passes through us usually. especially a heavy and negative one, but we hold on to it with the negative thoughts. You know that as a energetically as a emotion, it only stays within that body only 30 seconds. Have you heard of that? Is that actually
No, no,
scientifically proven?
really.
Yes. So we just like we think about it and just let it be. It just passed through, but we hold on to it. Keep thinking about this and over. The animals are very good at making it pass through. They will fight with each other, like we literally try to kill each other. But after a while, they shake it away, then they peacefully walk away. But
Yeah.
humans, they hold on to their thoughts and their
Mhm.
emotion, like, oh, I hate you, or I mess up, whatever they might be. Energetically, they
Yeah.
end up staying in the body.
Yeah.
But there's a way to get to that blockages through certain meditation that I guide people to do that. And when you get to look at it, you will work with it and you work on it. And then we will find a way to release it or build a different relationship with that blockages, because there's a reason why we create that blockages. Everything happens in our body, everything energetically happens with our body, it happens for a reason. And we unconsciously trying to help ourselves create the blockages, because that would become a default protective mechanism we started early on without realizing that it's not helpful to us later in our lives.
Yeah. When you talk about just because I'm gonna mention this again at the end of the show, but when we talk about a clarity session, is it clarity about what your goals are or what you can achieve? Is that what you're talking about when you talk about clarity?
Clarity
Yeah.
session, could you people I would like to ask people to come in with a specific goal,
Mhm.
whatever that might be. With that goal, we'll figure out what the blockages are. And we'll have a session to actually delve into that, working with the blockages and also working with the releasing it.
Yeah. And do you have people come in who want to try this but are somehow skeptical and therefore blocked? And how do you manage that when someone, because we all want to believe, right?
Mhm.
But sometimes we have difficulty with that. We've suffered with whatever it is we're suffering with for so long that how all of a sudden now is this going to make the difference? What do you say to people that come in?
Yeah. I love skeptics. I don't care. As long as you come in, that's the first step.
Right.
And we'll figure out where to go. And I'm not here to try to prove anything, but for people to have an experience.
Right. Right. And I always say there's a difference between cynicism and skepticism, right? I think we can all be a healthy skeptic, but cynicism is something entirely different.
Yeah. And I think all of those are healthy
Yeah.
for us to have.
Speaking of experiences, for someone listening right now who feels stuck, whether it's in health, relationship, or career, whatever it is that they have, what would be the first step that you'd recommend for them?
Okay, think of the goals that you have, whatever they might be. It could be, I want to lose 100 pounds. I want to be a CEO of a company. Let's say those are the goals. And I want you to just tune into your body. Feeling the body, I realize not everyone's used to it, because we leave our body all the time. And also our life, social media and everything so designed to bring our mind outside of the body and our awareness outside of the body. But energy goes where your mind goes. We literally lose energy every second, every minute when we do that, and which is okay. But if it becomes a habit, we literally lose our energy, and our body cannot sustain without that energy. And I want you to bring back that energy. So let's set whatever the goal that might be. When you tune into your body, it's easier to close your eyes, but you don't necessarily have to. what is the blockage that comes up for you? The first thing comes into your mind. Let's say I want to be a CEO of my company. I don't think I am smart enough. I don't think I am smart enough, or I am experienced enough. So basically, energy is I am not good enough.
Mhm.
Okay, let's say block is not good enough. When you tune into your body, you can actually locate that energy within the body. And there's a way to do this, and I will guide you. And it has actually, it has its own zip code, believe it or not.
Wow.
And
So go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
and what would be the opposite of that? Not good enough. I am good. I am capable. I am smart. I am intelligent. I am powerful. Whatever that might be. Let's say I am powerful. And just say that word, I am powerful. The minute you say, I am powerful, your body recognizes it and also guide you to get there. There's also location for I am powerful. Let's say I am not good enough is in your chest. I am powerful is in your throat, usually in one of the chakras for some reason. Sometimes have it, they're located in the arm, then sometimes they're located in the legs. But oftentimes I notice that is one of the chakras. And you let them communicate. So ones who are listening to me, you can do this literally right now. And then whatever the sensation in the heart, I am not good enough. Usually, if it's a negative energy, you feel it as a heavy energy. Usually it's a tense, heavy, one of those things. When they start to connect, they'll start having communication. And we let them have a communication. There is a whole process of having them communicate and having dialogue.
So
This is under very deep meditation.
can you share probably one of the most profound transformations you've seen with one of your clients? Obviously, no names, but I mean, just something that has just changed someone's life in such a huge way.
I had an artist, musical artist, and she was very talented. But she also had this. But biggest one was I'm not safe. I'm not safe in the world. Bring my base out there, and we locate that all within the body. By the way, if that negative, heavy, tense energy stays in the body long enough, it turns into something much more serious and or even can turn into disease. And that's what happened to me and happened to my body. Once I let go of that heavy emotion, my body just heal itself. And that's exactly what happened for me. So when we let her have the communication with the two parts of the body, we really part was just trying to help her in some way. So she started to have a different relationship with that part of energy and what she wants to do. And also we also find a way to set different goals to reach the actual ultimate goal that we're trying to reach. So once she start to have the communication with those two parts, this part that's powerful gave her all the information what she needs to do.
Would you like to share something that we haven't talked about? Anything that you'd like to share with our listeners before we close out today?
Listening to our body is about becoming intuitive, and that's actually a natural state of who we are. Start with just following whatever the instinct that comes to us in the morning, and also every day do things something different, because that helps us to create different patterns in our brain, like it's that neuroplasticity. When we just keep choosing one thing over and over, our brain get hardwired. So do things differently every day. Do some things differently, do something challenging that you never done before. It could be as little as if you never had lemon before, try lemon today.
Beautiful. Thank you, Banya, for sharing your journey and, of course, your system with all of us and with our listeners. And for those who want to learn more about Banya's work firsthand, visit her website at banyalim.com. That's Banya, like Tanya with a B, Lim, like in Mary.com. And don't forget, you can sign up for a free clarity session to explore the program and receive a mini coaching experience. Also, if you've enjoyed the episode, I invite you to visit my website, which is www.mediumscottallen.com. There you can book a private reading, discover upcoming live events, and listen to more episodes of the Enlightened Life podcast, either on the website and also wherever podcasts are shared. Thank you for listening today. And remember, sometimes the greatest healing begins with simply tuning in to the wisdom within. We'll see you next time.